Today we got a little bit of a different video because I kind of want to talk about how Roblox completely fumbled this year so far. Please subscribe too, by the way. We're trying to reach 10k by the end of the month and we're so close. Let me break down what I'm talking about. So this year so far for Roblox has been an absolute roller coaster, but for the past 3 years it's just been downward like crazy. You know, ever since they launched the stock it's just been downhill from there. However, at the start of this year, and the months to follow, we saw kind of a shift in Roblox. And just like a month ago, we reached a point where everyone was saying Roblox is officially back just because of all the good things they've been doing. Like for example, the main thing obviously being, after years, Roblox brought back the Hunt event. They brought back the events tab, they brought back the Hunt first edition, and although there was some bumps and hiccups along the way, if people were not liking the Hunt event, stuff like that, in general, a lot of people were happy just because events and stuff were back. And not only just that, but we kind of saw classic Roblox coming back in every aspect. Not only were they bringing back events, but Roblox and employees and everything like that was interacting with the community once again. As we can see here, you know, the Roblox account was interacting with players a lot once again, and also making normal tweets and stuff like that, you know, mentioning developers and stuff like that. David Bazuki was talking to players and stuff like that, responding to them if they had any questions, and Roblox was off to a very good start. They brought back classic events, they brought back classic like Roblox in a sense, because all the stuff that they've been criticized for the past 3 years since their stock launched, they kind of took it into account and started actually thinking about it and did the opposite of like what people were hating on them for. People were mad at them for not interacting with the community more, so they started interacting with the community more. People wanted events, so they brought back events, you know? This is why everyone was saying Roblox was officially back. And then also with that, they also started asking for feedback and stuff like that for like the Hunt event, which once again showed that like Roblox actually cares about all this stuff and they're actually putting in more effort this year. Not to mention all the other stuff like, you know, they brought back an egg. I know a lot of people are disappointed it wasn't an egg hunt, but it was still very cool that they brought back an egg in some way. And then also throughout the entire year and start of the year, they did like a bunch of good updates. They had the Hunt event, obviously. They had like that gift card update and just a bunch more very good stuff that everyone's been begging for so long. And Roblox is genuinely off to a very good start, which is why everyone is saying Roblox is officially back, and it was looking to be a very, very good year for Roblox players. And literally just like a month ago, we reached a point where community-wise, it's probably the strongest we've ever seen Roblox, and the general sentiment seemed like was everyone's actually happy with Roblox for once. They're listening to feedback, they're interacting with the community again, they're bringing back classic events, they're changing updates and reverting updates if people don't like it. It was such a good point, probably the best we've seen Roblox in a while. However, with that being said, unfortunately, I'm not here to talk about how good Roblox has been doing. I'm here to talk about how they fumbled all this. Literally, they built up all this throughout the past few months, and everyone is saying they're so back just to kind of fumble it. I feel like after all that and all the hype in the community, over this past month, Roblox has just went back down the exact same route that everyone hated them for. And I feel like literally exactly when the Hunt event ended, there was like a random switch. Literally, the second the Hunt event ended, everything just started going downhill once again. And honestly, this Alice Nuki here tweet kind of sums up exactly what I was thinking as well. No, for real guys, please tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this. Do you think Roblox was just pretending to listen to feedback by doing the Hunt and bringing back community events, only to make a really bad change to their website and ignore everyone else's feedback later? Honestly, kinda, yeah. It seems like the Hunt was just a distraction, because obviously with that, following the Hunt, there was a bunch of awful stuff that happened and awful updates, but also, namely the biggest thing being public UGC. Roblox released public UGC, and ever since that it's been a dumpster fire. Not only just because the update in general is really bad, but also everything it did with the update. The increased fees that were kind of ruined for UGC, and the moderation is even worse, so a lot of bad items got uploaded and dominance and stuff like that. But also with that, just beyond public UGC, Roblox has released like a bunch of just lies and stuff like that as per usual, and the interaction with the communities kind of stopped, and we see them kind of go back to this corporate route, which is the reason why they started falling off in the first place. And the reason they came back was because they stopped the corporate route, but now they're going back down that route once again, which is why I feel like they kind of fumbled all of this. Like for example, recently they released this blog post right here, just going over like their company values and whatever, already a very like corporate thing to do. But also with that being said, in the blog post, it's just full of like lies and bullcrap, honestly. Like for example, it's full of dumb saying a bunch of like buzzwords and stuff like, we prioritize our community before a company, which it just isn't true, let's be real guys. So in general, ever since the Hunt ended, it was like a big shift. Roblox finally came back and stopped being corporate, but now they went back to the whole corporate route, you know, making bad updates, not listening to the community, making just like bullcrap statements, stuff like that, all once again seemingly to please investors, which is pretty bad. And also with that being said, speaking of which, they've also just been doing a bunch of weird, in general, stuff that makes them seem so hard to touch. Like a little bit ago, they had this whole weird makeup thing where it used like AI technology and stuff like that, and it was like a really weird collab. And everyone's just saying this post showed how out of community, or out of touch, you know, they were from the community once again. And also with that being said, before at the start of this year, everyone was praising Roblox, and like every move they did, it feels like was like a good move, and everyone was praising them. And obviously there was hiccups here and there, but for the most part, everyone was just like, Roblox is doing very good. Obviously, it can't be perfect, but it was at an almost perfect state. But now, because of all the bad updates, if you go to any of Roblox's recent tweets and stuff like that, everyone's just spamming them with stuff like the game sucks now, fix UGC and stuff like that. And all these replies are almost like ratioing Roblox themselves, which just shows you that majority of people agree with the player base rather than Roblox themselves. And in general, with that being said, I feel like it's just very disappointing to see. After years and years of complaining, at the start of this year, Roblox gave us a little bit of hope, and everyone thought that they're finally back. They finally listened to all their feedback and all the complaining after all these years, and Roblox is finally back. Ever since the Hunt event ended, it just seemed like a complete 180 shift. It seemed like the Hunt event was a distraction for all the bad updates they had planned. Because as we can see here, literally ever since the Hunt event ended, they just started releasing bad updates after bad updates, public UGC, not interacting with the community anymore, making weird collabs and corporate posts and doing blog posts, lying to the community, all stuff people hated before. And in general, with that being said, I feel like Roblox just kind of fumbled here. They had literally everything perfect going for them. Events were back. Players were happy for once. Like, when did that ever happen? They've been releasing good updates, interacting with the community, listening to feedback, and they built up all this hype and momentum of everyone saying Roblox is back, just to throw it all away and ruin it. And with that being said, unfortunately, I feel like this is just how Roblox is going to be now. I think Roblox will never officially be back, because as we can see here, even when they do come back, they still release garbage updates, money hungry updates, corporate posts and stuff like that, and just be still out of touch, which I feel like is very disappointing. It seemed like for once we're gonna finally see a good shift in Roblox. However, with that being said, it seems like that corporate aspect of Roblox will never leave the platform, and they're always gonna just do stuff like this no matter what. With that being said though, from the stuff that we've seen, they are still gonna do events this year and stuff like that, so there definitely will be good moments. Like this year there was a lot of good moments, but unfortunately, I feel like Roblox will never officially truly be back in the sense that they're acting like old Roblox, because as we can see here, right when they do it, they go right back to old Roblox, where they just start going corporate and stuff like that, which are pretty unfortunate. And that's what I want to talk about today, where I feel like it was just like the biggest fumble I've ever seen. They had everything perfect going for them, and everyone was saying Roblox is finally back. Even everyone who hates Roblox is saying that, fair enough, Roblox is back. And after all that and all that build up, it's all right back down once again. Bad updates, not listening to the community, lying, corporate posts, out-of-touch posts, collabs and stuff like that. Am I crazy for saying this, or do you guys agree? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this though, because this was just some of my thoughts based off all the news I've been seeing recently. You guys know me, I cover all the news, so I kind of sense a shift in the community and like the community's mood, At the start of this year, we're super hype and everyone was happy, but now we kind of went back to that classic Roblox where everyone's just constantly angry at them once again. It's been a crazy roller coaster this year, but I feel like they kind of fumbled. And once again, Roblox shows their true colors of just, a greedy company. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit, but I feel like they kind of fumbled the situation here, and I feel like they're going back down. Let me know what you guys think about all this though, and let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? You can disagree. Very curious to know your thoughts. Let me know, honestly. And with that being said, if you enjoyed, check this video for some more news, and I'll see you in the next one.